Chat is disabled for the live stream. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Had a decision, have an impromptu Chrono Trigger stream tonight at 7 p.m. CST, and then I realized I hadn't cleaned up after my dinner or anything like that, so I had to do that real quick. Let's get that going here. It is the near end of the week, and I am ready to see the end of the week. For those new to the stream, my name is Josh, also known as Voices in the Dungeon, where I do content for the TTRPG Fabula Ultima, a TTJRPG that is a wonderful, whimsical, fun, over-the-top, silly, but sometimes saddening TTRPG that you can play collaborative narrative with your friends. And it is rules light, with some crunch to it if you want it to be, but it's inspired by games like this, Chrono Trigger, a game I've actually never played, despite playing many JRPGs. So, in the route of it, we're going to continue tonight. Soon as I turn my controller on. And hopefully my sound is good. Load game. Seems off by like a millisecond, but we'll just see how this flies. Oh yes, I forgot. We were in the time place that's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. You can only have 3 people traveling at once. I'm gonna be honest with you folks. In my time frame of playing this far, Marl has become my least favorite character in a JRPG in some time. Outside of Hope from Final Fantasy 13, he's just awful. I do think I know there's multiple endings. I'm assuming there is an ending that's the true ending where Marl is the BBG and not Lavos, because she has done nothing but set me up for crimes, not defended me, gaslit me, called me fat, and then on top of that, when we had the saddest moment of Robo getting basically gang rushed by his former constituents, the other robots, and Luca spent all night trying to fix him, she's just sleeping with her back turned to everyone. I cannot find a more inefficient and cruel person to be at a party. That being said, she's my only true healer, so I gotta use her anyway. Alright, where are we going here? Oh, and I just got magic in here. I'm actually going to try something new here. I noticed in my last stream, everyone said to go to the bottom left, but I noticed then you couldn't see the dialogue. So I'm going to go up just a bit here. And we'll see how that translates. Well, it seems I was right. People who lived long ago had enjoyed such powers, you know. Yes, long ago. Well, I know you must be eager to finish this thing you seemed so intent on doing. But why not first pay a visit back to your own era? Haste makes time wait, or haste makes waste, as they say. And you find that even truer here. Come and see me whenever you have the need. Think of me as your guide on time's road. She has a lot of convincing to do. How's it going, Michael Metcalf? Yeah, no, she has some explaining to do here. In the meantime, she's been an optimistic person, but overall has not been very kind to me. Give me 1 second here. Trying to try a new thing where you can see my stream post here. I don't know if it's... I didn't skip. I posted on Tuesday. I just didn't link it last time. Interesting. My stream is still not showing chat for you guys on my videos for future viewers. Interesting. Bear with me, people. I'm just trying to try something really quick here. Well, it's claiming... No, whatever. I will remove that for now. Figure that out later. You guys aren't here for that anyway. How you doing, Erica? Yeah, I skipped ahead. I mean, I played on Tuesday, and I didn't link it because I figured they would do some sort of notification, but there was really only a couple people in versus the normal, like, 12 to 15. But it was also a Tuesday, so... You really didn't miss too much. I spent a lot of time in the derelict factory getting lost and talking about Fabula Ultima, so I didn't quite go through much in here. Go to the Mystic Mountains, 65 million BC. No, I'm assuming I want to go to my era. No. Go to Medina Village, 1000 AD. Yes. I'm assuming that's right. I actually am not aware of the time frame that is normal time, but I'm assuming it's not almost 63 million or 6,300,000 or something. I can't remember what it was in Medina. Well, this is intriguing. This does not seem like people's. Who do you think you are, coming and going from someone else's wardrobe at all hours of night and day? Humans, I tell you. Oh, I was going to bring Robo and Marl. You just missed me completely dog shit, Marl, and then I forgot to change her out. 80 is modern. Okay, well, let's go back in the cabinet real quick. And get Robo back. Yeah, to hell with Marl. Her and all her cruel gaslighting. Okay, so... Are these my only 3 options? It wasn't Protodome 2300 AD. That's where I came from. It's not Medina at 1000 AD? Because the other one's like super far back, BC. Is there other portals? Thank you for the reminder, Salandra. Wait a minute. Medina is a village of fiends founded by ancestors when they lost their war against humankind 400 years ago. Most of the townsfolk still have a grudge against humans, so be careful. Okay, Medina's right. There's an odd old human who lives near a cave in the mountains to the west. He may be able to help you out. Thank you for your advice. But why are we being so kind? Do your people not despise humans? It's been 400 years since man warred against fiend. There's no use living in past. Of course, not many other fiends seem to agree with that. All right. Ooh. What is in the meaning of this eerie chanting? So I went ahead and moved my my webcam window a little bit further up because I noticed after the stream last time I'm blocking half the dialogue. So let me know if this position's annoying to you guys. Oh, great Fiend Lord. Oh, great Fiend Lord. Oh, great Fiend Lord. 400 years have passed since Magus commanded these fiends and waged war against the humans, but if Lavos can be reawakened, there'll be no more humans. That guy looks ominous. The almighty Fiend Lord delivers Lavos unto us long ago with his great magic. How's everyone doing tonight, by the way? I was kind of said a little impromptu stream tonight. I've had a not so great day. I woke up not feeling too hot. I'm still kind of recovering from my surgery. And then my cat, Kupo, decided he was going to go out on his morning, just kind of hang on the patio, jump the fence like he sometimes does, and never came back. So I'm a little worried about that. But on top of that, I've got a tracker on his collar. And I was able to find the collar in the middle of this brush, and it had come off, so I don't know where he is. Ran a banger of a Fabula session. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. You played it today? Does the music change mid-drift when you're walking? Yeah, okay, weird. Okay, so if you leave the town area. Not weird, that's actually cool. Melchior's cabin. Oh, you've come to see me. Well, by all means, have a look at my collection. Could I interest you in a weapon? I'll give you a special price. Yeah, I'd love to do deals with you now that Marl isn't here to frame me into about selling her pendant. Yeah, earlier today, and also, yes, the music is based on where you are. Cool. I actually like that they did that. Ooh, a Crimson Blade. Wow, that is not as much attack, but there's +2 to magic. I definitely need some potions. I wasn't actually trying to. I know you were part of the trial. I was 100% framed in that. I was actually talking about what I love about that whole trial scene is just everything you do in that early on in that game. Like, I feel like it completely gaslights you into and like punishes you for how Squaresoft in earlier games kind of conditioned you to do everything, because you run around and you literally try to grab everything. You grab stuff like you check the clocks, you check boxes, you check pots, you check everything. And the fact that like I got completely crapped on for taking the lunch and then like going for the pendant because I thought I was supposed to give it to her, and they make it sound like I'm the one who tried to steal it from her. It's so cool. Funny enough, I was in the middle of watching your villain vid and saw you just started streaming. Oh, well, sorry for interrupting me with me. Actually, that sounds actually kind of cool, but... I enjoyed doing that last villain video. It'll be good to kind of move away from monsters for a bit, just because I mean I've literally put about almost 2 months of recording into that, so. How long was your session, Erica? Yeah, I hope he comes home soon too. I wouldn't say I'm a pessimist, but at the same time. Where I live, it's kind of out in the country a little bit, at least in the back end of it. And I mean, I'll just say this. If he doesn't come back, I'm probably never getting a cat again here as long as I live here. Because I've had another cat that got out when I tried to keep him indoor. He never came back. And then there's another cat that never came back. Got one other cat that's stuck around, but I'm kind of done with them not coming back. Right around 4 hours. We finished up an hour and a half ago. Nice. You correct me if I'm wrong. You run this. You said you ran it. Okay. How many Fabula points were spent? Get some shelters too. Damn. Was there a significant conflict, or was this pretty much narrative? I keep forgetting. I keep trying to make it where my stream chat or my chat is on my stream visually for videos. I'm meaning to narrate it so people know what I'm talking about. So you did 11 Fabula points were spent. Death to the enemies of fiendkind. Man, okay. Oh yeah, strobe light rave. Uh-oh. It starts with capital OK so. Let's hear it. Ooh, fire punch, dual tech. Obtained ether. Even the pots are tricking. Hey, could do that. The problem is now I have to explain anything happening in this game, and it's so unbelievably unpitched. I mean, when it comes down to Fabula Ultima, I think that is going to be the existence in most versions of the game going forward, but... And if it's too much for you to type out, I understand. I don't want to encumber you with a bunch of that. I'm just always intrigued to see what chaos ensues in people's games. It was one of the PC's first trials to bind an arcanum. She was facing a sort of shadow copy of herself that's like the former manifestation of her past trauma. Oh man, that's deep. And for those people who are new to Fabula Ultima or not kind of familiar what Erica's talking about, binding an arcanum, there is a class called the Arcanist, who's kind of like your summoner, and they have what are called arcanas, or they can take other names. I use eidolons in my game, like from Final Fantasy, but they basically are a group of... sorry, I got confused where I was going. They're like summons. They're big entities. They can almost be defined as deities at times in your games, or interplanetary spirits, or just like big influential things that give you their arcanist abilities that are beyond the normal state of things. And these boys are armored. You're gonna make me use magic, aren't you? That's what I thought. Oh, I also got this shirt the other day. This is my Summertime Ultros shirt. It's freaking awesome. This one was, Erica says, this one was this sort of extra-dimensional entity that's been the source of the character's entropist abilities ever since she accidentally cut a hole in reality. As that happens, entropists. Entropists are also another caster class, one of the primary arcane classes that have manipulation of time and chaos. They're really cool. I just noticed too, I didn't even think about when it said Fire Punch. I love that the combos are not always just revolved around Chrono. Erica says, yeah, it was during a raid by space vampires, and the trauma is what created the sort of alter ego magical girl transformation that was destroyed back when their friend turned themselves into a tree. Into a tree. All right, I'm starting to see where it's getting a little unhinged. Does Hypno Wave actually work or show any type of indicators on it working on monsters? There are 27 levels of context here. Well, like I said, I mean, I don't want to encumber you if you have to explain, but I mean, by all means, if I'm entertained hearing about it, but I also don't want to. It sounds like you just came out of it. No need for you to have to explain everything if you don't want to. There were some screenshots in the video clip I posted in the RG server earlier today. I will take a look at that later. Eric said, I went back and pulled out the old original character art the player made and like the old description icon of her weapon and everything. Keep forgetting this is real. Like, I need to stay on task while reading, or I might die. Like the old description. How long have you been running this game? So I'm guessing I'm gonna have to be just really magically invested on here because the standard attacks are not seeming to do much here. And Solander, if you're still in here, you're saying you're watching you're in the middle of watching my villain video. What have you thought of it so far? I didn't mean for it to be as long as it was. I thought I recorded it a lot quicker, but I spent so much time explaining the importance of equipment. I really wanted it to be understood. Magic Scarf. Okay, so increases magic by 2. Since July or so. I think that's about when I started my game. I think. How many sessions are you in? I only play monthly with my group, so... I do an interchanging of Fabula Ultima and then running the Strahd Reloaded version of Curse of Strahd. I haven't been counting. I kind of wish I had. I honestly can't tell you what sessions I have been on if it wasn't for the fact that I record them. So I make sure to flag that what they are. I think I'm on session 17, or we just did session 6. No. I'd say we've had 14 legit games because the last 2 have been us actually just kind of doing story-based, like inventing things and adding stuff and kind of just talking about adding quirks, but I still count it as a session and let them have their standard 5 EXP. Because they're still giving me the time to play. Let me go rest here real quick. No room here for humans. Scat. Give up. Oh, I complete? You still talking to me? Don't know what's good for it. Get him, boy, damn it. I knew it. Solandra said, yes, you did, LOL. You did rightfully point out just how powerful NPCs can become using equipment, which is why they pretty much get rid of it in the new bestiary. So it's really interesting still, though. I have not dove into the bestiary yet because everyone wanted me to work on core rulebook information, but the bestiary specifically says it still wants you to 100% refer to the core rulebook and building stuff and understanding it, that the bestiary itself is going to be more for people that did not understand Fabula Ultima or JRPGs. I mean, of course, I think has wonderful inspirations for your own creations and lets you think outside the box. But I just found it interesting that they still are very promoting using the core rulebook in the design, but then they're doing this where they have a whole removal of equipment and changing the variant of the weapon master's ability. I always forget it was where you can break armor and stuff. Erica says, yeah, I spent the whole villain video trying not to run to Discord and tell you about used equipment. Yeah, I found the used equipment thing pretty quickly, and I did try to make sure a disclaimer. But even as you said, though, like I don't know if you saw my video, I put a disclaimer because at the time there wasn't any skill allocation window like it used to be prior to some of the updates, and I made a comment, and I can't remember who it was, but they're like, I'll get it in there soon, and I think it was already in within the next day. It's not actually officially removed. The bestiary entries do not use it because it's basically impossible to balance a whole book with NPCs with equipment. The skill, yes, breach, that's what it was. Yeah, I agree. And hey, how's it going, G Helmet? It's really interesting because like I said, I haven't dove into it. I already talked to my weapon master, and I was like, look, here's we're probably going to go this approach with the bestiary more often than not. And to be perfectly honest, I wasn't using equipment-based monsters to begin with, anyway. So I think she liked the variant change to begin with. Solandra says a lot of it is rehashing stuff from prior videos, so I was kind of skimming over it. I just hit the point where you get to the nitty-gritty of his skills, and I understand that. The more I did it, I was like, man, I'm not really teaching a lot here, but I'd already put in a lot of the recording, so I'm doing it anyway. I think you witnessed me ready to move on. And I still wanted to follow through with my promise that I would make a humanoid villain, but I felt like I'd really already done everything I could other than go into the details of equipment. Erica says the common advice around the use equipment skill is to avoid it, but it's still a skill that exists and it isn't like eroded out of or anything. Yeah. On top of with Foundry, I don't mind it, but I said in my video, if just making sure having to equip things and stuff like that for monsters and stuff is just another extra task too, that, I think you could just be more creative with the basic attacks and, making them special attacks and all that and not have to worry about all that other stuff. But I mean, that's just me. I have a feeling they're not going to sell me anything either. I don't know if I want this guy. I'm going to just move on here. Go to the Elder's house. I know better. I'm not stealing anything. Blast that Aussie, the 8th, always hiding behind his ancestral flame to boss us around. So what's my next video project? Well, I need to check back on the poll. I did a few smaller videos that were more basic because like I said, most of my video is the intent to get people who have either no experience in Fabula Ultima, or they're kind of reading the book and they just kind of want a little extra push. But I want to do a video. So I'm trying to find the charger to my headset here real quick. I do a video about leveling in EXP. I do want to do a video that's more on like class building philosophy, not so much min-maxing or anything, but making people who've never played Fabula Ultima understand that you could pick a class like Weapon Master and then pick a class like Entropist and make it kind of your own archetype. It doesn't have to be a spell sword because you made a Weapon Master with an Arcanist. You can use some, or not, sorry, not Arcanist, Entropist. You can just use some of their abilities that will synergize, and that's the biggest thing I wanted to try to underline is don't be one-sided with your class ideas more than anything. Erica said you can just go down to the park and pick up basic attacks. They're free. Nobody can stop you. I have 400 basic attacks at home. Save here probably for a minute. I also for anyone who's on the Project FU Discord, there's an individual, one of the contributors, Azure LOL, I believe is their name, just recently posted out an entire kind of breakdown on how to kind of set up your Foundry and recommendations and stuff and all of that. But they also put in some philosophies and stuff in there. And I talked to them, and I think him and I believe it's pronouns, or I actually have spoken to them briefly. We are probably going to have a one-on-one interview where we're going to talk more about GM insights and stuff. It'll be a little different than my normal videos, but they said a lot of things I agreed with that are talking about people getting into bad habits from old or whatever traditional games like 5e and Pathfinder. G Helmut says, yeah, a video about how everything can be a good thing. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm trying not to, even with the classing, I'm not trying to build this if there's one thing I know there is in Fabula Ultima's YouTube, there are people that at least try to break down the classes and a few min-max suggestions. But I think half the fun is building those classes because it's so easy to do. Okay, Azure is a he, him. Okay. But yeah, I do intend to talk to them soon-ish if our times ever overlap. I know he's in Europe, so. But then I'll probably start talking about quirks as well. I'll do a video on quirks. There's a bunch of small little just kind of highlight videos that I'd like to do that are maybe 15 minutes like I first started versus my hour and 20-minute like long form videos. Guess people doing discussions always good. I don't think I'm going to make it a huge thing on my platform, and the only reason I'm highlighting Azure is because they put a lot of information intent towards helping people learn how to operate the game via Foundry and through just a philosophical point. And I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of people are very enchanted by Fabula Ultima, but at the same time are intimidated by the improv and the collaborative narrative, and there's multiple people said they're just scared to start a game, and I'm like, don't be. As long as you can find the people you want to play with in any aspect, I always say in all of my games I run, I'm the biggest fool at my table, so I invite you to try to outdo me. All right, I am running all around here. I just noticed there's no kingdom here, so that's depressing. Came through the village, the elder's house. What is little... I don't want to touch anything that sparkles anymore because I'm just going to get put on trial. Ooh, speed capsule. This works brutal.
I'm Ozzy the Eighth, leader of this village. My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather fought against the humans at the side of the Fiend Lord himself. Oh, great Fiend Lord, why didn't you exterminate the human race for centuries ago when you had the chance?
Well, that's just rude. But I think once I start getting through all, like, the little nitty gritty and small little snippets of the core rulebook and maybe some Atlas stuff, I'll start going into more dedicated, long, more complex things. There was one other thing on the poll was actually like 25%, 24%. 28% on, like, it was EXP and levels, the class build philosophies, and I can't remember what the other one was. I had a pretty decent voting in it too. Improv should not be that much of a no-go. I think that a lot of players just play for the social aspect, and doing GM stuff ain't their thing, quote improv. Yeah, but in this game, itself, with the injections of Fabula points and the players having the power to put stuff in, I use the term improv loosely. I would say more or less be openly creative and not be afraid of being creative, if anything else. So maybe improv wasn't the right word, because the one thing I've said multiple times, I know even discussion with you, is as a GM, be ready to change things. Of course, now you have the ultimate say, but you don't want to gatekeep the creativity of your players that are trying to be part of the world as well.
Humans think they got a right to everything. Teach them a lesson, boss.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's say 0. Well, this is not good.
They beat you, boss. Monsters.
Man. Can't get any respect around here. Alright, well, I have been to Melchior's cabin. I've been to that cavern. Let's sell some stuff here.
Oh, if you're wanting to return to truce, there's a shortcut through the cave in the mountains to the north.
Okay, maybe he said that already and I wasn't paying attention. Oh, the mountains to the north. Is he referring to the north over here, or a cave? That was the right spot? Okay. And to elaborate what I was saying earlier, it's not so much improv. I have two players that are very, I mean, they're both long-term GMs. So they have great, I would say improv, but also just the abilities to role play, and they get really excited about it. And then I have another player that has been my biggest supporter, is in every one of my games. She's always there. She is more of a, I wouldn't use the word wallflower. She does contribute, but when she does, it's very impactful. So it took, I mean, when I first started running games for her, It took some time, but I am always very acknowledging of how much she's quote unquote evolved in contributing to my games, and it doesn't have to be through voices or exactly improv, but she always brings in cool things with like her Fabula points, and a lot of it's funny as well. Uh-oh, Robo is... There we go. Yeah, Erica, when yesterday when you posted that thing about villains and like their multi personas, like my mouth just dropped. That would like I know I have probably read that multiple times. Like there's not much on the villains pages on there, but you showing me that just like it reiterated. Like I said, I think I have a little bit of a learning disorder. Like I need to like quadruple check on those chapters, because that would have been a nice little addition on my villain video. It is a great sidebar. Oh, goodness gracious. And it's something a lot of people end up asking, actually, so don't beat yourself. I mean, I'm not really beating myself up for it. It's more of a, like, if I'm going to be someone that is confidently posting information to help people, like, I need to be a little more attentive to that, because I mean, not that I think everyone will use that aspect, but that was a pretty simple thing in a small end of that chapter that I should have put in. But I already went the wrong way. Bat. Come on, everyone, hop along. Of course, there's no mitigating them with multiple attacks. There we go. I mean, and also since we're in here, I mean, you're at some people, you know, Helen was asking about videos I was doing next, and Solandra was making it obvious that I was kind of recapping things. If there's anything you would like me to do videos on, or you think would be a good help to add to the categories I do, I mean, like I said, my goal in the long run is to be a long dedicated help to people that want to learn this game. And I'm still surprised with how many people who really enjoy it don't try to do what I'm doing with like content creation and stuff, because there's a lot of people that will do like recaps of the book and stuff, and I don't know if they're just afraid to show their face or whatever. I think there's a lot of lack of presentation and production in them that Fabula Ultima is just asking to have correctly done. Especially during a time frame where, like, I mean, the game that's always going to hold notoriety is D&D, and it is in its worst form that I know of in my time of ever playing it. And its representation is absolute garbage right now. So anyone who's looking for new games, like, this would be the time to showcase Fabula Ultima. Even if some people are headstrong on 5e. You know, you're not going to win them all, but I think there's a lot of people that I know in my games and I run and play around. They're all looking for new stuff. That's why games like Morkborg and all the Borgs and smaller narrative games like Brindlewood Bay and those type of games have gotten to be really popular because it doesn't require a lot of rules, but you can get together and have fun. A game I highly recommend if no one's tried it. I mean, you have to be into the concept of it, but it's Eat the Reich by what's it, Decker? I can't remember the entire publishing group, but you all play vampires that are basically sent down on I think it's France after the Germans or the Nazi Germany had been winning the war. And it is just madness. It's all narrative with dice barely telling the story, but it's a riot. It's like a one-time play, but it's fantastic. Yeah, there's so many Borgs, and like I've got like 4 of them, and I've only played one of them. But like, I really want to play Pirate Borg. I've heard of Grimvast, which is a Borg-like game that is like a grinder space survival that a lot of people have talked very highly on. I just got this game called Molten. I think it's the first successor from the actual Morkborg creator, where you play monsters from a molten core that come out, and humanity's like the problem. I literally just bought it. I have not even cracked it open. What'd you think of the Pirate Borg? Like, I haven't really gotten to jump into too much of the Borg I think it just depends on who runs it, to be perfectly honest, because it's so rules light. It's the presentation and how it's ran. Salander says, yeah, how I know a ton of people are trying out new games. I've heard of people going to Pathfinder, even earlier editions of D&D. I got a group hooked on Lancer. My nephew has told me so many great things about Lancer. I have yet to touch it. I'm currently playing Shadow Dark in some form. I've heard nothing but great things about Shadow Dark. I have not been too moved by the current. Like, the person who's running it, I think, is still trying to learn it, and I think it's supposed to be a little more brutal than they're running it. So I'm a little hesitant on it, but I've heard great things about. Erica says it's very dependent on the group. I'd say, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the type of people, how they'll be entertained. Do you trust them with certain content? Like, even like I said, Eat the Reich. There's like 5 pages of like safety stuff because of the fact it's dealing with so much, awful things. Solandra says, me and my main group have been playing tons of indie games, and Nephew is the one we're on now that all of us are really enjoying. We've even brought a new player in because he loves JRPGs. Love to hear that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I got hooked on it immediately, and I probably wouldn't have had a group if my friends weren't such big Final Fantasy nerds like I am. Oh, cool. I just limped into a boss fight. Fire punches jaw in. Wow. Nereid Cyclone. Oof. That is a valid point. There's very not too often consideration just walking into a creature's homestead and you not expecting to defend itself. Uh-oh. I have a feeling I'm about to drop. Oof. Oh. Didn't see that counter attack option. Once again, that's just another product of Squaresoft games. So you, in Final Fantasy, you're just walking around just into people's houses, checking all their stuff out. Oh, no, dang it. He literally went into counterattack mode as soon as I did that. Mike has been playing Shadow Dark for almost a year. In a West Marches style game, we have been having a great time. Nice change to the pace from 5e. We've gone through 20 plus characters. That's awesome. No, don't go. Okay. Oh, you jerk. Disengage. Okay. Does regular attacks work on them, or do I have to keep always hitting them with lightning? Okay, cool. Or not lightning, but magic. Try an attack. See what it gets you. Alright, well, just keep healing. Dang it. That's the other thing too in Squaresoft, like, or not just Squaresoft, sorry, like Link to the Past, all you do is go around and just go take people's like faces and stuff and smash them and throw them around and cut their grass and stuff too. Back to Shadow Dark though, yeah, I've heard there's actually a few game developers, gosh darn it, that are starting to do Shadow Dark hacks with their like I can't remember, like I want to say that there's actually like a hack that they're working together with like Pirate Borg now. Yeah, you just learned how to use magic and now the next area is focusing on useful. Yeah, I've noticed that a bit. I'm glad I bought all those mid potions. This right here is actually a perfect example of a boss, and once again, you could do in Fabula Ultima as if special rules. Like I think I even actually did that a little bit with Grandmaster Smoosh, where I gave him a counter attack when they miss, kind of in the same aspect. You know, you could do it where if they decide to use the guard action and they use magic on them, you could come back and use a magical spell back at them, or you know, stuff like that. Make the bosses not simplistic or one-dimensional by any means. Yeah, very, very Fabula coded. Professional Demon is working his Deathbringer and Shadow Dark. Oh, nice. Oh, crap, Luca. Yeah! Whoa. That's new. Is that a, well, crap, I'm out of Athenian water. Is this like a crisis type of thing? He starts doing those counters. G Helmet FB says, one of my Final Fantasy IV enemies have a passive aspect, and if attacked in melee, he counterattacks and hit needle attack. It's with a small rule I gave. Yeah, that works great. Okay. Come on, go down. Uh-oh. So note to self. Oh, cool. 1500G.
If only Lord Magus had destroyed the human race 400 years ago, when he first brought forth Lavos, the world would belong to us fiends now. Oh.
Metroid Death. So, I don't know if I've been saying Magus or Magus. I'm going to say Magus. Sounds like Jesus, that kind of though. So Magus created Lavos in the middle of ages, and then in the future, Lavos destroyed the planet. If we use the gate at the fairgrounds, he then got his heck frame. Yep. Zenfire Game just finished replaying this. Nice. Well, thanks for hopping on, Zenfire Gaming. This is actually my first time to play this. Oh, wow. Just shot me out. Oh, look. Wait a minute. Am I in regular time? It did say Luca's house, and there's the fairground. But the bridge is fixed. What's going on? Go to Luca's house first. You're in for a treat. My favorite game growing up. So, I don't know if you're familiar with any of my content on Fabula Ultima and stuff, but like, I started doing this because I've only played Final Fantasy VI and maybe some Phantasy Star and a few other games. I've never played this. I've never played Secret of Mana. I've never played a lot of the games that are listed in the Fabula Ultima core rulebooks, like Inspiration, and that's kind of part of my journey is to do that, learn, talk about Fabula Ultima, and experience these things that people have recommended I should try playing. This has been great so far. Luca and Taman are always off tinkering on their latest inventions. I bought you this apple with what we earned today. Oh, you're so thoughtful. Man, Lucas got a legit house. I'm going to ask you guys again, like, are you guys good with the positioning of my camera window? I did move it up a bit so you can actually see dialogue all the way through because I was blocking it for the last time. I've seen a bit of your content. You're doing the Lord's work, spreading the good work. I'm trying. Like, I mean, you just missed me talking about how I'm surprised with its notoriety, how little people are talking about it on YouTube and all that stuff. There's some people that do some content and do some live streams, but everyone's always hidden behind avatars. And I mean, I get it if they don't want to show their face, but like, I'm someone that really wants to put this game more in a spotlight because it deserves it. And it's a lot of people that I think could enjoy this game if they just give it a go. The camera's a good spot. Thank you. It's better in battle too. Okay, cool. Fritz, welcome. Come in and have a Chrono. Oh, you really saved my neck. I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for you. Discount? Ooh, if I was ever in a tight spot, I'd gone off on a buying trip. Think I'd showed my dad I didn't need him anymore. That was all well and good, but then some soldiers showed up at the inn and where I was staying and to arrest a gang of thieves, and now mistook me for one of the criminals. They wouldn't listen to a word I said. They were going to execute me just like that. So, whew, I owe you one. I've been debating doing the same, but I'm so overloaded with current projects. Hey, I welcome anyone who wants to throw in their 2 cents, because as much as I like to, I want to be more of an onboarding person to show like, hey, this game's easy. This is fun to pick up. You can like all of my I'm not doing anything other than quoting the core rulebook and giving GM insights. But as I was just talking to Erica, like I miss easy things in the book that should have been easily put in my video, and I don't sometimes. So like, it's always great to have extra people putting this stuff in together, and if the community grows with this type of content sharing, it only makes it more popular. G Helmet said, I've looked 100% of everything that about the game, and there's a lot of just opening review, but almost nothing. There's actual play and book reading, but that's, yeah, exactly. There's some good content creators that like highlight some things from the book real quick, but it's always one and done video and suggestions, or they're like 3-hour long like book reviews that I feel bad when I release an hour and 10-minute video, because I as much as I know I like to put information out, I know not everyone's going to watch everything. Eric says, one day I'll have the time to start making videos about going overboard on Foundry. Hey, I will do everything I can to highlight that. Like in the meantime, like I said, I want to be able to showcase you guys, spotlight you guys in any chance I can. You guys have been doing a great contribution to this game. Oh, I'm sitting here just spamming through content. No, of course not. Well, all right then. Oh no, I appreciate what you did. Now, Chrono, down to business. Please, won't you buy something? Discount, please. Have you seen Derek 4 hours videos and got burned? I'm not familiar with that. Did I not? I could have sworn I bought a Crimson Blade already. And wow, I haven't even been using it. That's like the 4th time I've bought something and then didn't freaking equip it. I'm dumb. Sinfire Gaming, Unreckon has... I'm only now throwing my hat in the ring. Hey, anyone wants to throw their hat in the ring. Like I said, I'm all about a community building for this, because I truly think, I mean, even the people like ourselves that are not actually part of like Need Games or, you know, I have not met Emmanuel yet. Some of my friends have at Gen Con, and they got a lot of awesome books from me signed by them, and but they've said nothing but great things. And when I heard that immediately, like, that only made me want to push this more, because I know they're working hard to push this game and put so much effort into it, and it really deserves a lot better spotlight than it gets. He maybe have a long form video if you want to have a real overview of an indie game. That's the channel to watch, but he did not do more than those 2 he made. He always does new game, and that's fine. That I think that always gets more people. And I'm not here. I appreciate the viewership and the subscribers, because it obviously makes me more relevant. But I also know I'm advertising a niche thing. So, but that guy might be doing it for the fact he wants viewers and subscribers and all that. And so going from one new game to another, it only helps his notoriety. Back to the fair. Should I be careful? Should I not talk to anyone, touch anything, hang out, be acknowledged? It's quite amazing that this fair is still going on, despite me being almost executed. I'm still salty about that trial. He needs it as a job. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I don't want to make this my job. It's fun. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like some of the people I've played those actual play games of Fabula Ultima, they do like professional DMing and stuff, and they're like, "Why don't you do it? You're so good at it." And I'm like, because it feels like work. When the moment I start making it work, feel like a work or a job, it's losing the passion that I have for it. Erica says, "You've had one trial, yes, but what about a second trial?" I'll work on it. How goes opening of your Discord bio? I just haven't tried to really advertise it. It's up. I just don't really have anything like other than just being an open server at the moment. I could probably spend some time this weekend catering to a little more of an open forum, because originally it was just a place for people to play on when we were originally doing the actual plays. Let me see how many still are. Okay, it's like the Renaissance Fair every weekend. I mean, I wouldn't be against that. That sounds like a blast. Oh, that's right. They were talking about the portal here. Bear with me 1 second, folks. I'm going to go grab a drink. I'm going to go ahead and go into pause screen real quick. All right, I am back. Just do a little recap here. G Helmet says, it's not fun anymore when it's work unless you're like me. My work is making me passionate. I work till 20 hours tonight because I receive new product numbers and stuff. Hey, if you can find passion in your work, that's great. I know how my mind works, and I like to keep work from my fun. Erica says, don't turn your hobbies into a job unless you can also turn it into a hyper focus, in which case it's going to be consuming your every waking moment. Anyway, so this is a moot point. Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I think there are many people, like, if I could actually turn, like, doing content creation as a career and stuff, it's a lot of work, but there's also a lot of freedom to it as long as you can keep a form of consistency. But at my life, that's not it. I have, my own obligations and my own job of long term that I want to maintain. So this is a fun distraction, but also I feel like I'm doing something that's worth my time when I get to be part of the community like this, learn new things, play these games, hang out with you guys, learn things that I didn't even know in Fabula Ultimate, promote Fabula Ultimate. There's a lot of great crossing over with doing this, and I love doing it. Solandra says, not a job, but if it's occasional thing for sure, like people who stream once or twice a week. Exactly. Or let's say get paid for GMing, but only one game a week, stuff like that. And once again, like GMing for professionally, that's a whole other thing. Like you're being paid to try to keep things civil with people you may not know. Like not that I think there's a lot of horror stories in that, but I've heard some, and I want to spend my time running games for people I enjoy playing with. Zenfire says, I'm a crazy guy who loved professional GMing, but I go crazy style. That's great. That's once again, if you have a way to find balance or injection to it, I'm all for it. I know my platform and my balance. Erica says, I often consider doing paid GMing, but I have little actual time. I don't know what I would probably GM anymore, because my heart is not in 5e. That's what I used to do, because that's what I became most familiar with. Other than, I don't know, like Fabula Ultimate would be another one. I mean, definitely I think it would be an opportunity because people want to learn the game, but I thought about running press start GMing, just using the press start module to kind of get people one and done and not turn it into a full path. But I also have my actual place people can learn from that. G Helmet says it's more than just making video. You need to build a community, get Patreon, sell product. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not even thinking about that stuff. I'm just trying to get the community people that they'll learn this game with. I'd probably try and GM Fabula to be honest. It's easily my favorite. I know I can make a presentation. Well, I definitely know. Yeah, I've been very impressed with what you can showcase. So that's definitely there, and you're at. It's advantageous for you, Erica. Old man, come and see whenever you have the need. Think of me as your guide on time. Okay, I've already read this. Okay, so that's right. We are going. Okay, so there's more timelines here. Okay. They said go back in time before. Okay. Go to Lean Square 1000 AD. No. Go to Truce Canyon 600 AD. No. Oh, yeah, 600 AD, because that was 400 years before Medina. I'm going to return my question. So how is your Discord coming? Opening? Oh, sorry. I thought I'd answered that. I don't have an exact open. I need to cater it a little bit more to be a Discord for people. I honestly don't even, at times, I haven't even thought about if it's worth doing, because, mine's based off Fabula Ultima, and there's 3 Fabula Ultima Discords. So, but at the same time, though, I would be silly to not acknowledge a community that I'm part of as well. So, probably pretty soon. I mean, I've got it open. It's just a matter of having it catered to right channels and scenarios, and probably me doing proper disclaimers and, making sure people understand not to be assholes to each other, and all that fun stuff that you accept before joining a server. Whoa, I kept forgetting about that. Save Luca. I'm gonna go back out real quick and heal and save. Oh, I can't. What? Oh, yeah, I gotta go back there. Also, I got to check to see if everyone I was already in my Discord has chosen to stay or not. I did announce that I was opening the floodgates soon, so if they didn't want to be part of what I was turning it into, to by all means leave, in a kind manner. And as always, I just want to say thanks for you guys coming in, hanging out, enjoying watching this game. I know sometimes I'm more ranting while I'm just randomly running around, but I appreciate you guys being part of this and hanging out. Erica says, I need a refractor my Discord some. I kind of got myself in a trap that is setting up just too many channels as this time goes on, and there's not enough people to warrant it. It's fun. You're in game. Hey, I appreciate it. I mean, that's what I aim to. I mean, I'm enjoying playing this game, and I'm keeping enough attention on here. But at the same time, anytime we start talking about Fabula Ultima, that's going to be my main engagement a lot of times. So, back to what you're saying though, real quick, Eric. Yeah, like that's the other thing. It's like I don't really have a direction for a Discord at the moment, other than just people to ask questions, which I'm okay with if people want to ask me questions. But once again, I kind of feel like if people want to ask questions about Fabula Ultima, like, there's so many more people that are engaged and so much more fine-combed over the rule book than I seem to be at times. I mean, you know me, I ask questions in the Discord all the time to confirm stuff. And even then it gets into, I don't want to say debates, but like I remember when I was doing my ritual and magic cast one, and I asked it, I think it was either the Fabula Ultima or Rooster Games one. And I was asking about the difference between using a ritual to like melt an ice cap, or not ice cap, like a frozen door or something like that. And then Emma came in and was like, well, actually you can go ahead and just use spells if you want to. And then said that there was no MP expenditure either. And I was like, what? That's so counterintuitive to everything I've read. Yeah, discussing Fabula is probably more readily handled in the official server or Emma's. My own Discord is centered around my code projects, particularly the founder modules. Yeah, like I said, like I don't have anything other than just the fun. I'm all about making one to talk about insights of the game, experiences, telling stories, showcasing like you've done in other servers and stuff, Emma. It's one of those things where I don't want to say it's like it's imposter syndrome, but like I always keep looking at them like there's already forums and Discords for this. Why wouldn't people want to hang out in mine? Being able to cast a spell is very much viable justification for making a check to do a magic thing. You need not necessarily bust out the ritual if it's something that doesn't warrant it. See, and I agree with that, but I swear they mentioned something about it not requiring MP to do that out of conflict, and I was like, then why would you ever do a ritual if in smaller things like that? So, because, you know, obviously, like there's so much breakdown about mind point expenditure and everything you do and based on size. And I didn't quite understand the statement that Emma was making. Have you heard? He's come at last. The hero, the legendary hero. He's gone to see the king already. Now the Fiend Lord hasn't a chance. I think the best way I've heard rituals described as cutscene magic. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, I have yet to really do anything in combat with it yet, but like in my last actual full play of my game, I had it where there was some wizards that had brought a portal in, and basically the Elonian Empire had these not drones, but like droids that were actually laser etching in a permanent like ritual circle to port into a certain area, and my entropist used ritual magic to basically reverse time on some of the parts of this the etchings. And I was like, well, that's all. I mean, ritualism is the only thing I could think of in that moment to do that. So that instead of any spells. So yeah, you don't need MP to kick down a door. Why would you spend it to do the little fireball at the same time? I mean, I could see that as a concept. Erica says, God, I jump into a round table Fabula GM discussion in a heartbeat. In cutscene, it's all go. Heroes are there to build amazing story, not keeping mana in case of battle. Well, there's so many people. Like I was reading them. It's not like MP's hard to obtain in most cases either, though. Like I just like I can't post it because I don't have the Discord. I use the party actor of my group and noticed that the person that's playing Blair had expended all of their IP to continue to get MP for some of the stuff they were doing, and then I have an inventor with 10 IP, and like everyone else had IP, and no one was doing anything to help the caster. I was like, you guys need to talk about your synergy and helping each other out in magic casting when there's 22 unused IP points. Sorry, I was rewriting that message to be coherent. I said you should host a roundtable discussions for FU for the discourse. People would watch. Yeah, I agree. Like Zenfire. I was saying, I was thinking about doing a video with Azure LOL because they had put out a tutorial on Foundry and had some insights of just gameplay. Anyway, I'd love to talk to more people that are confident in GMing and get their insights. Yeah, but whether you do or don't bust out the full rules depends on if you want to spend the added time to energy engaging the conflict minigame. Sure, I can go with that. Discussion video would be a nice thing. Yeah, I agree. If I could get enough people interested, I'd be all about it. I would love to host that. I'm getting so lost talking about this stuff and not even paying attention where I need to go. Okay, I came in from the fairgrounds earlier, then we came into to Truce, so that's right, we're dealing with the Fiend Lord. Or whatever, the hero going to the castle. I'm so like taken by like the fact that we keep going into different points of time. I'm like, do I need to keep visiting the cathedral? Do I need to keep visiting this place? It's empty, no cultists. Just like the first step to an attribute check is to ask yourself if you need to do a check. I am so like that. So that goes back to like as Azarello was saying about bad habits. My worst habit in 5e was always asking for checks, and I learned really quickly after a couple of criticals for opportunities and people threw in plot twists and unmasking the dangers of asking for that stuff. So not only is it worth it because they're capable of doing it on their own existence of their stats, if you do not want the storyline to just go upside down like that, you got to be wary of that. Nope, for this one was a one go. Oh, on the church. Okay. In general, the game will prompt you about the time period and place to go, if not necessarily directly, like you had one guy mention 400 years prior. So yeah, that's how I figured. I did the simple math that we were 1000 AD and they kept talking about 400 years, so it made sense I was going to 600 AD. And then I just saw in the end the guy talking about the person marching to the castle to deal with the Fiend Lord. I more mean from the perspective of, is it worth stopping play for 1 or 2 minutes to get out the dice? Sometimes the answer is no, sometimes yeah. I mean, I go with my gut feeling on that. I think sometimes certain things asked or approached definitely require a check versus obviously a lot of the, minute and trivial things, obviously. Oh, he dropped a shelter. Yeah, the talk of 400 years ago is an indicator of having the plot elements coming up 600 AD. I'm glad I have just enough brain capability to have comprehended that with all the exchanging of conversation that's going on right here. I remember well this bridge. It's the bridge this time, maybe castle, and after go to bridge. We are about to have a nice video cutscene. Erica says, but also making checks brings in the potential of to consume resources or spend some Fabula points for sweet bones. And it's about absolutely that. These are the type of topics I think are great to actually have come up in like Zenfire was saying, either like some sort of table of discussion or whatever, because it not only people's experiences are different in GMing, but I like to try to cover so much, but there's only so much, you know, I will capture in my brain when I'm talking at the time. So, because that's the thing, it's like I always say, you know, you're not against the players. Not that you would ever be even in 5e as a DM or anything like that, but like you're directing the story with these people, and you want to inspire them to have Fabula points. You want them to get EXP. You want them to level. You want them to feel strong. You want them to feel successful and cool. But you also have to find a balance to their power as those players' characters, especially with Fabula points, and once they start getting heroic skills and stuff.
Beg pardons, my lord, the beds are all taken.
Wow.
The Fiend Lord had brought 3 fearsome generals onto the field of battle.
All right, let's go up top. Collaboration. Exactly. I mean, my favorite thing is doing villain scenes because, you know, my players, I love getting my players riled up, or just this look of shaking their head in disdain because they know something's coming, but not exactly. But that's the storyteller in me.
Lord Chrono, the great hero has appeared from the very pages of legend.
What? You tried to execute me.
He arrived not long ago, then left to meet the king.
God, we're getting heroics these days and are using the playtest ones for the upcoming strategy guide. It's getting wild. I mean, I finally, my Entropist was the first to get a heroic skill and got Comet, and that thing is insane to begin with. My Spiritist just dinged level 10. I don't know what they have taken, but it's great. I love it. Like I said, it makes them feel unique, getting all the way to the top and getting to do something really unique and cool.
Queen Lean has been at His Majesty's bedside night and day.
Oh yeah, Comet was the first heroic in our group. It's been a meme. Our commander picked up versatile tactics, which has completely changed how much they like the mechanics of the class. Oh, nice. I keep trying to push, like, everyone's sticking around with core rulebook right now, and that's fine, but I've been trying to promote the commander class and stuff outside the other atlases. What strategy guide? I just heard about this yesterday, but know nothing about it. It's provided much better synergy with the rest of the group. Upcoming book slated for what I want to say next year. Emma has some possible heroic skills in the playtest at the moment. Nice.
Queen Lean will collapse if she does not get some rest. Cyrus has sent that boy to us. Oh, Chrono, have I grown too old for all of this? With Sir Cyrus nowhere to be found, our hope rests on the shoulder of that boy who bears the hero's badge. He has gone to the southern continent now to search for the sword that can slay mages.
Commander is good. It's provided much better synergy. Commander is good, but the big brain class, because it hinges on group synergy and turn order, which can be tricky for people to get used to. And that right there is what, like, people want to talk about, like how they, like, I think people who don't really give Fabula Ultima a shot, they're trying to be like, oh, it's super simplicity in the combat. I disagree. Like, you can get very tactical, and the game's one of the best synergizing games I've ever seen in development or played in my experiences. The strategy guide is meant to be advice, some variants, and some more heroic skills for each class. Nice. Chihama says, I'm sad at my last expansion book. The high fantasy one was planned to arrive today, and it's delayed the next week. That sucks. It took forever for the Techno Atlas to show up to my game store. I always try to promote local, and it took like 4 months for them to get it. So, sounds like I'm going to the southern continent past that bridge. All I want is my Yoshitaka Amano book. I've never shamefully backed something so quickly in my life. Fabula Ultima is not simple in combat. Well, it's easy to learn, but difficult to master. There are a lot of great synergies you can get into. Exactly. I think that's the best thing about it. And as you continue to level, you find new classes, you find new synergies, and you can do new interesting things. And it's also up for the GM to find fun competition with monsters at times and challenge those things. Like I think that I never felt so inspired to make things and have fun with monsters like I have in Fabula Ultima. I love the system built on it, and I welcome the bestiary on it, just because there's so much abstract thought on creating things, and as long as you kind of work with a skill expenditure to not overdo everything, yeah, it might be a little broken, but you learn from it. I'd promote local, but instead I've gotten people to buy from NDG directly at Gen Con for the last couple of years, and that's cool. And and the one thing I will say the best thing that happened for me is my friend at Gen Con bought a lot of the books for me as a gift. I'd only had the PDFs, and they had Emma sign them all, but I forgot all of them had vouchers for Drive-Thru-RPG for free PDFs, so I actually just reactivated them under my Voices in the Dungeon moniker so I can free stream those without my personal name on the book. So I'm glad that, yes, I want that Amano book more than many things in life right now. That Zenfire game sometime after it's finished, currently in beta, available at backer of Kickstarter. Solander said, I'd say it's medium strategy. Some games like Lancer have much you can do from turn to turn, which is different builds in the combat grids, but there's so many great games that are too simple for my tastes. But that's, like I said, with Fabula Ultima, and I'm assuming you're agreeing with us in this aspect, is the flow is simple, but the tactics can be complex based on what is created and what you have as a team to work with. Side effect of getting books from Gen Con, get them before they're regularly available in physical form, and most of my books are signed by Emma. Yep. I need to remember to email NDG about code for my copy of High Fantasy. There. Okay, where am I here? Oh, I'm trying to get out of here. Down south to the Xenium Bridge, where everyone is happy because there's a bridge. Bum 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 bum. Commander, our provisions are depleted. Have the supplies still not arrived from the castle? We'll starve at this rate. I didn't know about no supplies. Would that our strength were enough to best the Fiend Lord's army, but alas, only hope lies within the hero. Could the hero alone truly have power to defeat any army's fiends? I thought those stories of the hero would become bearing to the badge no more than bedtime tales, but now he comes, and there's little to do but trust him. So let me get this straight. I'm guessing I am going to need to get food from the castle or something to get them to open up the bridge. I need to remember GB Need Games being the publisher for the folks in chat. Yeah, I was following what you're saying. I should have highlighted that as well. Well, published for the English in the town, yes. You need to go see the cook in the basement of the cabin. Okay, so I gathered once he was talking about food at the castle, I missed something. I will say this, I have enjoyed the simplicity of, like, assumption, like, oh, okay, I just need to go grab this. I remember being young in Final Fantasy VI, when you first get split and you have Locke and you find Celeste, and you have to keep, you're in the annexed Empire city, or village, or town, and you have to, like, steal the soldiers' use Locke's ability steal to steal their suit to get through one area, and there was that area to get the cider for the merchant, and it took me forever to realize I needed to steal a merchant's clothing to get to the secret area to get the cider. Good God. So when you running live plays of your Fabula games, are you referring to me, Zenfire, or are you talking to someone else? Oh, I want to do live actual plays sometime. Got to get proper consult for the Foundry BS. What limitations are you talking about on the Foundry BS? Oh, sorry, I the chat was kind of going by. So here's the thing. I've considered. I'm going to ask my players. Here's the thing. There's people that do live plays of their games, and everyone's hidden with, you know, their characters and stuff. And I've always felt like that's a little bit of a cop-out. But at the same time, the people I run my games with are not, you know, they don't want to be spotlit or visual. I'm curious if they'll allow me to edit my overlays where it's their screen characters and then me just GMing at the very least. So, it's just a matter of how much they trust me to, like, because I refer to them by their real names. I don't use their last names or anything, but it's more the comfort level of my players would be willing to let me do that. I do have some live actual plays of the press start on my video on my channel that I did with some content creators from TikTok when I was originally on TikTok. This is the price of my hubris typing on my laptop and bouncing between several conversations. Basement. I will say this, I did enjoy doing the press start actual plays. I did one for the first time, and however, I had a little nasty little fit of vertigo about to the point where you meet Olivia, and I had to stop, and we could just never get logistics to get everyone back on play again. So I redid it again with some more TikTok creators, and we had a blast doing that. Just vibe to the Chrono Trigger music. Hell yeah. Oh, there's the cook. Running around. Master of Kitchens. What? My brother's larders are nearly empty. Serves him right. Thinking you men with swords are the only ones who protecting this kingdom. Enough of that. Are you never going to set aside your petty feud? You're grown men. Act like it. Mind your own business. What do you know of it, anyway? Men are such fools. Those two are both really looking for a way to make up, though neither will admit it. He may act like he doesn't care, but our master is always worried about the commander. Come on now, time is wasting. Alright, well. Tained ether. Am I missing something here? I heard him say he needed food. Like, do I need to go back to the commander and say the chef thinks you're a dum-dum? Oh, there we go. Wait! Take these for the troops. Obtain spice jerky. And this is for you, here. Ooh, strength capsule. I did talk to everyone down there. I don't know. I don't want to, like, talk to 3 people in a row and then go put on trial and then say, why did you talk to those 2 people before this person? When you see that fool brother of mine, tell him he'd better come back alive. Well, I just realized I have distinguished accents between the commander and the chef that, for being brothers, one went on a externship for a very long time, learned a different dialect. That's what that game makes me want to think. Oh, wow. I feel like I would have done a little bit better helping them instead of going to get food. Lord Chrono, what word? Give them the food? Yes. Food! He brought us food! It was my brother? I see, he saved us all. Uh-oh. Lord Chrono, if I should not return alive, give my brother my thanks. When did I become inefficient in combat? I'm just like... What's happened? Magus' troops have launched their attack. Our defenses will not hold. You are the Knights of Guardia. Defend the honor of our order and drive the enemy back whence it came. But we are now far outnumbered. This is our last line of defense. It must not break. Very well, my lord. Let's talk to everyone. Ugh. The hero reached the far bank, but our men suffered heavy losses in the crossing. Now we can put away the Fiend Lord's army to rout. It seems mere men have... Oh, well, I was not listening, apparently. It seems mere men have the strength... haven't the strength to stop these fiends. Ugh. As you can see, Lord Chrono, it's all my men can do to hold this line. Might you lend your blade to our battles? Well, of course. I don't know. Can my blade do anything, or is it magic? You have the most profound gratitude. The Fiend Lord's troops are positioned just beyond the bridge. Take this with you. May it keep you safe. Ooh, golden helm. Now we're starting to get into real equipment here when you start getting the gold helm. Ooh, undead. Damn. Those are some lethal skeletons. I'm Ozzy, one of the Lord Magus' 3 generals, and to his enemies I grant death. Go, my children, take them to their graves. Out. Ooh, Chrono Slivers. Stronger than I thought. And we just watched a minor villain use a Fabula or an Ultima point to run away, right? We have closed the distance.
Seems I misjudged you for the first time, but I won't do that twice. Ah, he's a necromancer. Duh. Slay them all.
Brave bot. Oh, that sucks. Skeletons absorb rave attacks. Damn. I was wondering if I hit him, that would drop all of them because he summoned them. Robo's level increase.
Drat! That's it. This time you're finished. I mean it.
Congrats, you found undead absorb dark damage. I didn't know a laser was dark damage. I mean, it looked like rave. You think it'd be light. It looked like a strobe light. You cannot win. Surrender at once. Ugh. Ugh. Lasers are dark damage. Good to know.
Go Zombor. Go Zombor. Crush Lord Magus' enemies.
Time to rehash the what damage type or lasers convo from Fabula. Yep, exactly. Oh crap, I never bought potions. Okay, cool. Fire. Okay, cool. I have a feeling I'm not going to do too well in this without my I forgot to get potions and stuff. E. Oh, I just realized there's two things I can attack. I feel like I did not come prepared for this. Which is a bummer considering I'm gonna have to go through all of that again. How does Fist do against skull damage? The Steam version makes it easier by showing the icon what damage type it is. I didn't even see that before. Multi-part boss. Another fabulous thing. Good. Yes. 100%. And it's showing its impact of... Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to do the rave heal. No. Game over. Those multi-part bosses, man. Let's see, where are we at tonight? Oh my goodness. I have to still... Wow, am I still... Where am I here? Am I at that church? Well, considering... Okay. I am at the church, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say this is just enough to deflate the momentum of not only my playtime, but also the stream for the night, just because it's my fault for not paying attention and saving. I've been accustomed from newer games to not have to worry about that. There's another Fabula thing. One part absorbed the dark and the other didn't. Different resistances and vulnerabilities. Yeah, to make it fast to go talk to the knight first should tell you about the food. Yeah, it's to be perfectly honest, what I'll probably do before my stream on Saturday is I will probably get to at least the fight and carry on from there. Yeah. That's literally what I'm doing. I'm stocking up real quick. Well, that's the thing is I couldn't. Do I need to go into another time then to do that? Because this is the time frame where it's all monsters, right? No, okay. That was 1,000. Okay, so yes, I can buy stuff here. Fortunately, just regular potions, though, not mid potions. Who had mid potions? Definitely need some of those. Where did I buy those healing potion? I think it was... Where did I start? It wasn't... Was it the Medina? No, Medina was where the monsters were, 1,000. I don't even know how to get back from here anyway, with the portal. It came from the Truce Mountains, I thought. Let's go talk to him real quick. Oh. Do. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna save it right here. I'll get to that point tomorrow, or when we play on Saturday. So, bummer that my lack of memory to multiple things. How brutal it is to not save, and on top of that, being stocked accordingly, and on top of that, I guess assuming that lasers are not dark damage, and then they had the audacity to do a light beam on me to really showcase what light damage looks like. So, that being said, hey everyone, thanks for hopping into the channel impromptu and getting to continue on in this game and talking so much about Fabula Ultima. There was a lot of chewing cheek on that. I'm always glad to share that. I will be making a shorter form, not shorter form, but not as long videos as I did the creatures here very soon. I will open my Discord soon. I just don't know how much of a catered interest it'll have to people at the start, but either way, I'm all about the community growing and us doing stuff. So you guys all have a good night. Thanks for sticking around. Good night to y'all. Thanks again, Zenfire.